Welcome to this episode of She's Iconic. I had to sit down right now and record this episode because I am literally at an edge right now in real time where I can feel my next level asking more of me. And what's wild is there's not a fear in my mind. It is my body going, hold on, this is new. Because logically, it's easy. Sending emails, booking podcast interviews, getting in rooms. I have done harder things in my life, but this level of visibility, this is different. It's something that I've never ever experienced before. And I know I am not the only one that feels this because if you are a high achieving woman, you've already built success. If you know you are meant for more and you can literally feel your next level calling you, but you've kind of been dancing around the very things that would actually put you in that next level of visibility, this episode is for you because what I am really going to talk about today, it isn't strategy. It's what's happening underneath it. It's the part that no one talks about where you know what to do. It's actually very simple, but your body is subtly pulling you back into what feels safe. And it is so sneaky that you'll convince yourself it's about needing more clarity, more strategy, more time, more perfection, when really you're standing right at the visibility edge. And instead of forcing your way through it, thinking you need to do more or perfect more, I want to show you how to actually bring your body with you into this next level so you can stop delaying what you already know that you're ready for and actually collapse time in your expansion. So I was reflecting on this yesterday and it was wild for me to have this self-awareness of like, wow, I have been procrastinating and delaying on these certain things that have been on my list of things to do. They're on my Asana board and I have 10x'd many times before, but this feels so different. I have moved to different states from New York to Florida to North Carolina to New York to South Carolina to different apartments. Like I've moved countless times in my life. I have built a business on my own. I have had 3 children. So I am not afraid of growth. I have massive capacity to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. But this is a different layer. And I haven't really been acknowledging that this is huge. This next layer of, of visibility that I'm stepping into is actually huge. It is not about like this surface level action. It is about somatic expansion. And your body will always tell you the truth. It will either hold you back or propel you forward. And it is very, very sneaky. And it's like nothing about this is scary logically. Any of the things that are on my to-do list of things to do. But my body is like, wait, this version of visibility, this changes everything. And they're really micro decisions that are going to create these macro results. And that is why my body is having this resistance because even though these are micro actions and micro decisions that I'm making, I know that in the end, this is going to create major visibility for me, like on a level that I've never ever experienced before. And I have been on stages singing. I have been across the US teaching on stages, teaching bridal hair on stages. I am not afraid to get up and speak in front of people. So it's not about that. It's about being vulnerable in my new truth and in this new identity that I have never led myself at before. So, for example, all I have to do, okay, these are the micro decisions that I have to do, okay? But I'm going to tell you what is actually going to happen on the other side of this. And I want you to be aware of where are you maybe delaying these certain micro decisions and actions that you have to make and they actually mean that something big is going to happen after you do them. And this is where you might be delaying. I only, I literally have to open my Calendly. I have to set the dates and times that I can do collaboration podcasts. Then I need to send invitations to the 10 women or however many women are on my Asana board saying, hey, do you want to collaborate? Here's my availability. Some of them already said yes. Some of them I am just taking a leap of faith and asking them to be on the podcast. These are simple actions, but what they do is they are going to lead to bigger rooms, more visibility. These are powerhouse women. They have large audiences. They have very big influence. And this is going to be me being seen at a different level. And it's not that I'm like, oh, I'm afraid to like talk to these women who are powerhouses. It's like, no, we are all incredibly valuable with our own unique geniuses. Like, I don't think anyone is better than me. I'm not, it's not that I'm feeling like, oh, what if she says no because she's made this amount of money? It's like, that's not what I'm getting at. It's like, I know when I collaborate with these powerhouse women, there's going to be a new level of visibility. And it's so easy, like embarrassingly easy for me to sit down and do these things, but I can feel that weight of what those decisions actually create. And these are the sneaky ways that we delay our expansion. I need to maybe perfect my Instagram first. Okay. This is something that I was spiraling into this past week because I revamped my website. I did a little bit of positioning, messaging changes. And I was like, oh, I want my Instagram to reflect the ways to work with me, my unique genius and how I help you. And like, I wanted to articulate that on my Instagram and have my pin posts, my 3 pin posts of like who I am, my story, my why, how to work with me. And I have to perfect it before I send out these invitations to collaborate with people. Like, what? Let me fix my pin post before I do this. But this was my body being like, hold on, you got to make sure it's perfect before you reach out to these people and collaborate with them. Let me get everything aligned before I go visible. And it couldn't be like more false. It's just my body is trying to protect me from the fear of being rejected, from the fear of being like, oh my gosh, if I don't have it together, then they're not going to hire me because I don't have 3 pin posts on my page of how to work with me. Like, no, like they're going to listen to me on the podcast and they're going to resonate with me and be like, oh my God, how can I hire you? Not because of my freaking pin post on my Instagram. Okay. So it's not the strategy. It's protection. It is a protective mechanism that my body is doing. And you may be doing this in other ways and calling it strategy or calling it, well, I need it to be in this way. And if it's not, then I'm not going to get these results. And it is a subconscious way your body is slowing you down because it doesn't feel safe being fully seen yet. And it is so wild to think about it in this way because you may have done, like me, some big 10x leaps and things in your life. So you're like, I'm not afraid to be visible, but here are the sneaky ways that it comes in. It is, and that is why you are the strategy. The way that I built my previous success, I had to remember that in this next season, in this newer season of my life and of this new identity and where I'm going here with this movement. My previous successes came from embodiment, connection with people, being in the right rooms, speaking from my heart. And I wasn't sitting there overthinking hooks or being like, is this YouTube thumbnail the one that's going to speak to the person and they're going to click on it? Or I was sharing what was real. I was in the rooms, and that's where everything happened. When I'm fully embodied, I am the strategy. When you are fully embodied, you are the strategy. And just like think back of all your successes that you've had in your life. Isn't it true? It's like the times that you were most thriving in your life, you weren't overthinking things or perfecting things, or it wasn't the strategy. It was just you being the fullest expression of you, being visible in that. So this is why it isn't mindset that is going to get you to your next level of visibility. It is somatic. It is body-based work. It's not just about taking the action because we are high achieving women. We have no problem with taking the actions, but it is the actions that we are taking that may be like self-sabotaging ourselves and we're calling it strategy. It's about grounding into nervous system safety. It's about, I realized I'm like, I really need to ground into my root chakra and take some deep breaths in there and do some rewiring in there because I'm feeling like a little bit of this growth edge. I'm not feeling 100% safe. And I need to teach my body to feel safe in these moments where I decide to send out that email to someone that could say no or could say yes to being on my podcast, or getting myself out there and making sure, like, okay, what if that hook's not perfect? Or what if my messaging doesn't exactly articulate the thing that I'm doing, but like I know that it's going to translate and get through to my people in the way that I storytell and not through a perfect, framework or hook. It's letting your body catch up to your identity. And if we just stay here, if we just stay in our mind of like, this is the new me, this is my new identity, these are my thoughts and beliefs and actions, your body has to catch up to that because it's used to the older version of you. So we have to work on making the body feel safe in this current version of you in order to get fully blown visible. And if your body doesn't feel safe being seen, you will subconsciously delay the very things that would change your life. And this right here is exactly the work that I do with my clients, because it isn't something you fix just by thinking differently or trying to push yourself into the action. Your body has to be on board with where you're going, or things are going to be delayed. And when you're stepping into higher levels of visibility, more leadership, bigger rooms, it's not about doing more, layering on the strategy. It's about expanding your capacity to be seen, to hold that level, to feel safe inside of it. So if you're listening to this and you're like, this is me, like I know exactly what I need to do, but I could feel myself hesitating or delaying or overthinking or perfecting. This is the work. This is where we go in and actually rewire what's happening at the somatic level so that your actions and your identity are finally in that alignment. And things then start moving fast. So if you're feeling called into that, I have a few one-to-one spaces open right now. And this is exactly what we would focus on together. So I wanted to share with you today what I am doing in real time. This is real-time integration that I am sharing with you right now, which is why I knew I had to sit down today and record this episode for you, because this is just something that just came up in my awareness yesterday. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to approach this? How am I going to integrate the new stories, the new safety? So what I am currently doing to feel safe, and I'm actually going to be taking these actions today, the ones that I talked to you about in the beginning of this episode, going over my Calendly link. I already made sure with my husband that he could take the kids at those dates and times. Because right now, honestly, one of those fears was, do I have the childcare when I have set a set schedule and have people on my podcast? And the answer is no, not until my kids start school in August and September. So I have to rely on my husband, who is so supportive. And if I tell him, hey, babe, I record podcasts every Friday, he's going to be here for me. But it was that like little bit of fear of like, what if he can't? What if I have to cancel? Right. And that was one of the ways I was delaying what I actually had to do. So what I'm doing right now, this is what I'm doing to integrate this new version of me who is going to push through this growth edge in a very different way than I would have before. Another way I would have done it was I would have bypassed my nervous system. I would have been stuck looping in the strategy. I would have been stuck looping in the perfection. And now I'm going to be working with my body. I'm going to be anchoring into my safety. I'm going to be anchoring into my root chakra. I'm going to, or wherever it may come up in different areas of your body. You may feel some pressure in your chest or in your throat or in your shoulders or back or your hips. And for me, I've noticed recently, I'm like, I feel it like in my gut. So I'm like, I am going to like breathe into that. I'm going to breathe in safety into my body. And I'm going to remind myself, I am supported. I am supported by my soulmate husband. I am supported by myself, where I have the tools to create this internal safety in my body. This season, I am held. I am held by the women that are in my somatic certification group. Every Friday we meet up and I am held in that space. I am going to titrate myself into visibility and not force it, because when you force it, you will default back every single time. So I'm doing these little micro steps, these micro things that are going to create these exponential macro results. And So the real reason you have been procrastinating, and you might not think that you are, okay, but you are if you're doing things that are out of alignment. You are if you are spiraling and overthinking things and perfecting things, okay? Just because you're doing something doesn't mean that you're doing the right aligned thing. You could be delaying the actual thing that you need to be doing. And it's not that you don't know what to do, it's that your body knows what it means when you do it. You know what it means. So we have to teach your body to be ready for it. More visibility, more responsibility, more being seen, more impact. And your system is like, are we safe with that? Are we safe with that? Do I have the childcare for that? Do I have the inner truth? Like, am I anchored into my inner truth to be seen and not care what anyone else thinks because I am in my iconic woman truth? Are you safe for that? I mean, I said something in my stories the other day. I'm like, I know that I am ready for this next level of expansion and visibility because I started cursing. Like, I started cursing again in my content. Okay, I'm from New York. If I'm excited about something, I'm going to drop an F-bomb in there. I like to say shit. My 5-year-old has said it because she hears mommy say it. And I know that might be bad, but it's actually really cute when you hear your 5-year-old say it. And then I'm like, no, don't say it. But it's a way that we express ourselves, right? And I just shared in my IG stories the other day. I'm like, I drop F-bombs sometimes when I'm really excited. And I do it in my content. And my mom watches my content. She listens to my podcast. She watches my Instagram. And she's like, Renee, I don't know why you have to do that. And I'm like, Mom, because this is the full expression of me. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I love you so much. And keep going to church and say Hail Mary for me. But I'm going to keep cursing. And I finally feel safe with being the fullest expression of me and not worrying about what someone will think, AKA my mom. And Mom, I love you so much. And I'm sorry that it hurts you, but this is the way that I express myself. So if you are in a season where you feel like you are delaying the very thing that would change everything, I want you to ask yourself, is it actually hard? Or is it just new for your body? Because your next level isn't asking you to do more. You've already done so much. You've already accomplished so much. It's like getting back to the basics. It is asking you to feel safe being seen at this level. And if you felt it in your body while listening, just know that you're not behind. You're right at the edge of your next level. And if this really spoke to your soul and you're like, oh my God, I was just having this conversation with my friend, or I'm feeling this, or I know one of my girlfriends would love to hear this, please go ahead and send them this. Follow me on Spotify because that allows it to be shared with more incredible, iconic women in the world. And share with me on IG at XO Renee Marie if something truly landed for you and you're just like, yes. Or if you're ready to work with me and you're like, yes, I am so ready to go. I am done delaying this, even though it's been very sneaky. Now I can see it. I hope I allowed you to see it by sharing this real-time expansion with you in this podcast episode. It is time to remember who the fuck you are, icon. Mwah. I love you so much. I'll see you in the next episode.